After years of focusing their efforts on almost nothing but skateboarding games, Neversoft Studios introduces Gun, a Wild West third-person action-adventure. With such an ambitious effort, Neversoft managed to put together a polished game that does a lot of things right. True fans of the Western genre will enjoy Gun,
at long last.
But the story and gameplay don't provide enough entertainment for the rest of us. You play Colt White, a mountain man who hunts game for riverboats.
Time to earn our pay.
When one of those boats is ambushed and your father is killed, you begin a quest to avenge his death. Along the way, you'll learn about your past.
When I was face to face with that one-eyed bastard, he said he knew Nid. Is that true?
Make some money, and kill lots and lots of bad guys. Most of the characters in Gun are well developed, and the game does a good job explaining how everyone became who they are.
Damn reprobates have no respect for law and order.
And why they want to give you such a hard time.
You son of a...
But some of your cowboy comrades feel too much alike. And none of the Apache really stand out from one another. Gun uses lots of cutscenes to progress the story, rather than letting you do it with your actions. It's often hard to understand why you're on a mission, except that your partner told you to do it, and that if you complete it, you'll be given another piece of information.
About a week ago, a reverend named Reed showed up here looking for Sadie.
It's a bit formulaic, and there's no rise to power, wealth, and women, like in Grand Theft Auto, which has a similar structure. In addition to the story, you're offered a limited range of side missions. These include such riveting tasks as herding cattle.
The key to running cattle is to stay behind them.
And fetching food for fat guys.
I declare, I am simply famished.
There are bounty hunter missions that usually involve riding to a remote part of the map to find an outlaw and killing him, which isn't much different from the story missions in terms of gameplay. You can play Peacekeeper by breaking up bar fights and robberies around town, but overall none of the side missions offer much satisfaction. They will increase your abilities, but you can complete the story without your stats ending up even close to maxed out in about 10 hours.
Keep the change.
Gun brings some cool tricks to the table, but overall the mechanics feel a little sluggish. Your weapons include a basic arsenal of pistols, rifles, shotguns, and arrows. You can control cannons and Gatling guns as well, to cause some serious carnage, and you have dynamite sticks and whiskey bombs. In close combat, you can use melee weapons, and if you're slick, you can grab an enemy and use him as a human shield. Your horse can also be used as a weapon using the trample attack. This move is fun, but it feels a little too effective. It doesn't seem like your horse should be able to take out 3 guys at a time. The weapon aiming is also unrealistically forgiving.
That was too easy.
The 19th century reload times can get a bit frustrating, but it's made worse by the fact that if you try to fire while your character is still reloading, the game will often wait until he's finished and then fire, when you may no longer be aiming at your target. And in first-person mode, there's no reload animation, so you can't always tell when your next bullet's in the chamber. This combination can make sniping a little awkward. One cool combat feature is quick draw mode. By pressing the Y button, you'll go into a first-person bullet time mode for a few seconds. Flicking the left thumbstick will switch your target to different enemies, enabling you to take out a pack of bad guys in the blink of an eye. It's fun to use quick draw against the grunts and the guys on horseback, but it's not much help against the bosses. And the boss battles in Gun are simply uninspired. Bosses look the same as regular enemies, it just takes a lot more hits to kill them, and they're ridiculously accurate with their shots. This is the same boss formula seen in thousands of other games, and it would have been nice to see something a little more creative.
That never cared much for 6 guns.
Graphically, Gun is very impressive. The characters are well textured, and their animations look very natural. The cinematography and lighting in the cutscenes are also well done.
Good to see the boys cut loose, huh?
The particle effects are not revolutionary, but they do a good job. Shooting a powder keg on a wagon will send chunks of wood, debris, and body parts flying through the air, and explosions in general produce very satisfying results. The environments in Gun are vast and beautiful, and there are no load times at all. There are occasional dropped frames, but nothing that detracts from the gameplay. Unfortunately, the large areas feel a little empty. It's a microcosm of an enormous chunk of land stretching from Kansas to New Mexico, and granted, there probably wasn't a lot going on in between each town. But it would have been nice to see some wagon trains or gold prospectors so that if you did want to go on a GTA-style rampage or rob a train, you could. But unfortunately, it's usually just you and the buffalo out there, and they're not that much fun to kill. The sounds in Gun are all what you'd expect to hear in the Old West. The voice acting is believable, and the dialogue is appropriately rough around the edges.
Son of a is leading the ambulance. Bullshit.
Peckerwood.
We can step up the pace now.
Cooley's scalawag.
I can keep the Irish sober.
Gun is a polished game with few drawbacks in the technical design. It should make for a fun rental, but its weak story mode and unsatisfying controls keep the game from reaching greatness. The side missions offer little reason to keep playing once you've completed the story, and there's no multiplayer. Die-hard Western fans will love Gun, but if you're looking for GTA on horseback, you'll just have to keep moseying, partner.